There's a lot of things that I've taken away from this class and being in the field this semester. One of the things I want to touch on is a quote that I wrote down from the article, Let's Get Critical. It says, when teachers are only familiar with one aspect of research conversation, they come to rely on outdated models of understanding. Then I noted, do your own critical thinking. I think that this is so important, especially in the time we live in where things are constantly changing. Even with COVID and teachers having to learn how to adapt to an online platform for teaching, it is important to be up to date with the times and technologies. However, I know that this quote probably wasn't referring specifically to the platform in which teachers deliver information, but more about what they are delivering and the way they are communicating these big ideas and objectives to the students. In this class, we shared stories with each other about our own experience and what we can recall, and times where maybe a teacher should have handled something differently. I think back to times from way back in elementary school of teachers who would single out students and yell at them in front of everyone for distracting the class, which in the end turned out to be a bigger distraction than the student themselves. The fact that I'm now in my last year of college and still remembering these moments says a lot. It makes me think about how I want my students to remember me and what they will take away from being in my class. Will they remember me as the old lady who yelled at everyone to not talk while they did their work? Or will they remember me as the weird art teacher who always had really fun projects that made them reflect upon their own lives and experiences? Even as teachers, we are constantly learning and evolving. We need to be ready to adapt the lesson and switch things up if kids aren't engaging or taking anything away from it. We need to always have a plan A and a plan B. That's another thing that I'm beginning to really appreciate, whereas before I saw it as a pain. It is crucial to have a plan. You cannot go into a room and teach 50 to 100 kids throughout a school day by just winging it. Being in the field and delivering my first real lesson to a high school class was intimidating, but whenever someone had a question about what to do next, I was able to refer back to my lesson plan and steer them in the right direction, just to stay on track. I'm grateful for my time in the field, and I feel that this semester has given me a newfound confidence and maturity. I am doing things that I truly never thought I would be able to do. But now I am here, finishing my last semester before becoming a full-time student teacher, and just hoping that I have all my ducks in a row before it begins. In the beginning of this semester, I wrote down, I want to be an art teacher that gets my students excited and ready to work. However, I also want to be the classroom where kids feel they can be themselves and express themselves freely. I know that I had a lot of anxiety in high school, just sitting in classes and feeling like there was no way out. I want to be the classroom where kids finally feel like they can breathe. I want to help the kids who feel uneasy and anxious like I did. This is something that I feel like I've really started to achieve this semester, and it feels good to be able to provide a safe place and an environment like that for the students. I'm excited for all of my new learning experiences in the spring, and I can't wait to see where this journey takes me. Thanks for listening.